In 2023, the hair care industry was valued at $99.52 billion in the United States. By the end of 2024, it is suggested to increase to $106.91 billion. Due to a demand in hair restoration, organic hair care products, and lavish haircuts and styles, the industry is expected to double in the next 8 years. This exponential growth isn't just about the dollar amount, it's about seizing the golden opportunity to craft your own financial future and creative potential. The journey of becoming a hair expert is centered around one pivotal decision: selecting a school. I set out to tour the centrally located Mecca that is breeding successful barbers in the heart of Smyrna, Tennessee. Fated University. The director, Marquise Martin, gives us insight on the Master Barber program that is offered and what aspiring and new students should expect. He also gave me a super dope tour. Let's get into it. All right, let's go ahead and welcome CEO and director of Fated University, Marquise Martin. Hey, how you doing? Good. How are you?
How you doing? Have a seat. Welcome.
How are you?
Doing good.
Good.
Doing good. Oh.
I am so happy to have you on High Level Barber Talk.
Hey, this is a privilege to be here, man. I listen, I've watched you your whole career, a lot of it, and we've been kind of back and forth over the years, and over the moon for you and your success and everything you've been up to. So yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
You ready to get into it?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Right.
Let me take a sip of this green juice.
Prior to our interview, I made Marquise and I fresh cold pressed green juice. These juices contain kale, lemon, ginger, apples, and cucumbers. Good and not grassy. Visit larissadiamond.com/juicelady to learn more. I want Marquise to go ahead and share with us his journey of becoming a master barber and then a barber educator.
Okay. So my journey started back in 2006 when I enrolled at the Borough Barber Academy in Murfreesboro. Miss Paulette Rossum, Borough Barber Academy in the building.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. So I'm a product of that program. So started back in 2006 and got my license in 2007. I worked with my man OJ Smith at OJ's Beauty and Barbershop. Shout out OJ Smith and OJ's Beauty and Barbershop in Smyrna. Worked with him for a couple of months before I kind of set out on my own journey and opened up my own place. And so for all you guys that think it won't happen fast, it can happen fast. If you're persistent and consistent, it can happen fast. So I opened up my first shop, which was Fated Barbershop.
What year was that?
This was in January 2008.
Oh, wow. So you got your license in 2007 and you opened up your own shop in 2008.
Yes. I was licensed for probably about 6 months before I was in my own place. Honestly, didn't begin that way. I didn't set out to do it that way. I'm about like everybody else. Wanted to work in the shop, get comfortable, get my feet underneath me, get my skills up before I set out. But I guess God had other plans. 6 months after getting my license, I was in my own place.
Nice.
So, yeah. So this is our pro shop. So we have apparel and hoodies and hats. Our hoodies have kind of been a staple of the programs. Our clients and our students all look forward to the new hoodies whenever they come out every year. We also have some products that we sell, everything from barber side to clipper side to kitty, hairbrushes, clippers that we offer. We have our service board here. So men's haircuts, kids cuts, senior cuts, beard trims, just edges. Edge ups are free on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And that was just a way for us to kind of get people in, just to kind of come see what it was about, just offering something free. Your shampoo services, braiding services. We have some students that do braid. Shout out Tierra Beauty, and you check her out on Instagram. Your straight hot towel services, your skin shaving services, skin care services, everything from a basic facial to a high frequency facial. Your waxing services, ears, nose, lip, all of the above. Your chemical services, perms and relaxers, and then your coloring services, your all over colors, your highlights, your beard color enhancements. We offer those services too.
You opened up a barbershop.
I opened up a barbershop.
Okay, what was the name of the barbershop you opened?
Fated Barbershop.
Fated Barbershop.
Fated Barbershop. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
How long after that did you get your instructor license?
So fast forward 5 years, business was good. I had some other guys in there working with me. Everything was rolling good. I needed more barbers, so couldn't find barbers. So I figured, well, let me go get my instructor's license and maybe I could get into a school and start working with some guys and maybe kind of get my foot
That
in.
mindset.
Yeah, just get my foot in the door and get some guys into the shop. Got my license 5 years later, started working in Murfreesboro. I worked at a school out there for a little bit, then went to Antioch. And I'm one of these guys, instead of complaining about somebody else's stuff, I'm just gonna go do my own thing. Fast forward 10 years and bam, 2017, Fady University was birthed.
As far as getting Fady University where it's established now, how did that unravel?
So initially, we were slated to open in Antioch. We were going to open in Antioch in Belfort Square. It didn't work out for whatever reason, and then I landed right here.
Everything always works how it's supposed to.
Man, God is good.
God is good.
He's been good to me. No lie.
Amen. What inspired you to provide education and licensing for upcoming barbers?
I couldn't find good barbers. I was always encountering these guys, whether they had a great work ethic, but poor skill, or poor skill and great work ethic. It was never a well-rounded professional. Inconsistency was taught in the schools. The schools were inconsistent, and not knocking any other program. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like if they could do it, I could do it, and I could do it my way versus complaining about the way someone else is running their program.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So out of the love for the trade and a love for the industry and wanting to put our stamp on it, honestly, you know what I'm saying?
Did you have a mentor over you or anybody that you looked up to that helped you along the way in your beginner years of the barber school?
Oh yeah, Mr. Gary Gratton, that's my dog. He started off as a client, became a friend, and he asked me one day, I was cutting his hair, he asked me, he said, what's next? And I was like, I don't know, I thought about opening a school. He said, well, what are you waiting on? I said, well, I don't know. And so a couple of weeks later, he brought me a business plan. And he said, read this. And I said, okay. And that business plan sat on my desk for probably a year before I touched it. And he stayed on me. Have you read it yet? Have you read it? No, I haven't read it. I'm going to read it. And so eventually I picked it up. And once I picked it up, I could see it. I could see Fady University when I read that business plan. It made it all make sense. And so for everybody out there that's looking to start a business, start with your business plan. We teach that to our students as a part of the curriculum too, because that's the vision, that's the roadmap to get there. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a plan, and the business plan is it. It gives you insight on your location, your demographics, what products, what services, where you want to be, what is it going to cost, how to get it off the ground. It gives you a chance to think about all these things before you actually dive into trying to start a business. So before you start a business, definitely I would sit down and write down a business plan for sure.
Okay, so go ahead and explain the method of walk-ins and how the students receive clients.
Okay.
To practice on.
Okay, so first, I always encourage students to start building clientele while they're in school. So this shop runs like a barbershop. So my background is barbershop, right? So I wasn't an educator, never really just had any really ambition to become an educator. This is just kind of something that happened. So the culture here is like barbershop culture. So this is our reception area. So whenever the clients come in for a service, they'll come in, make sure you post your sign. All services done by barbers. They'll sign in on the sign-in sheet. The students will come up, sign off on it, and then they'll take them back to the area. So this is our main clinic floor. This is where we do all of our services. Usually our senior students are up towards the front and our new guys are back in the back, okay? The new students get first dibs on the client, on the walk-in client. So I try to feed the new ones first.
Okay.
All right, and so as you go on through the program, hopefully the senior students have begun to build up a clientele. So that way, you know, they're working on their own clients. And then once they leave school, they take clients with them, right? So you're not getting to the barbershop without clients. You're taking clients with them. So the way it works is clients come in, the new students get first priority on the clients that are coming in. I always kind of like monitor the students as far as like skill level, right? So I try not to put cuts in students' chairs that are kind of out of their skill level range. So I want to make sure that they're able to be able to complete the cuts to kind of start to build confidence. The instructors, all of the instructors, myself and the instructors, we're always here to kind of give you a hand on anything that you might get stuck on. We could even finish it for you just to kind of, so that way you can see it. Try not to do a ton of that, but if that's what it takes, that's kind of what we do. So that way we kind of keep the client in mind too. A lot of times you'll hear that, oh, it's a barber school, they should. I get that. But at the same time, these people are coming into your school and coming into your program and giving a student a chance. Here at Faded, you know, we do a great job. You know, our clients are really happy with the work we do. Like I said, across the board, we have so many different cuts and styles to deal with.
I
you know,
see that, absolutely.
Everything from just a even with a little tape or a ball fade, to then you got the guys coming in with eggers and designs and all of this craziness. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
it's, you know, all this stuff. So they see everything across the board. You know, I've never thought I was the best. I feel like I'm a good barber. My gift from God is being a good people person and being a mentor. So this is
Mentor slash leader.
Listen, this is this is kind of became that. So it's not really necessarily about like teaching students barbering, but like teaching students how to become professionals and giving them the tools.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just giving them the tools they need to become professionals. So no matter what, because a lot of us, I don't know what the statistic is, but a lot of us that graduate from barber school don't necessarily go on and pursue a career in barbering, but just giving you those transferable skills that you need to whatever it is that you get into. You know,
you could be successful.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. What are the school's operation hours?
So we run Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay.
Tuesday through Saturday. So Tuesday through Friday. These are like normal hours, right? So we start the day at 9. Our first theory class is from 9 till 11. At 11 o'clock, the clinic floor opens and we start seeing clients that come in. So our first AM student class, they'll start taking the clients. We'll see clients all the way through 4 o'clock is when we take the last client. We'll finish up about 5.
Okay.
We'll clean up the shop from 5 clean up the shop from 4 to 5 or at 5. And then our afternoon theory class runs from 5 till 7.
Got it. Okay. Is that a separate? So the groups are split into 2.
Yes.
So do some people take night classes?
And let me scale.
Technically.
Let me scale back a little bit. But so if you're a morning student, your hours will be anywhere from 9 to 1, 9 to 2, 9 to 3, 9 to 4, 9 to 5.
Okay.
If you're an afternoon student, your schedule will be anywhere from 11 to 7, 12 to 7, 1 to 7, 2 to 7, or 3 to 7. So
got it. Okay.
The students come in, they select their schedule based on
works best for
their availability.
Yes. Okay. That's perfect. All right. I'm going to ask you this then. When it comes to full-time students and part-time students, for our audience that would be interested in enrolling in Fada University, what does that look like? How many hours are considered full-time, and what considers you as part-time?
Well, if you're a part-time student, that would be somewhere around 20 hours. 20 hours is the minimum. That'll get you out of the program in roughly 18 months.
Okay.
Right. And so being that if you put in more hours, then you'll finish a little quicker. I never really recommend like a 40-hour schedule because you tend to outrun the curriculum, if that makes sense.
What does that look like?
Pace yourself. If you're a student that already has some experience behind the chair, you feel comfortable with the tools and kind of what you're doing, and you catch on fast,
right? Then
you can move a little faster. But if you're someone who's never held a clipper in your hand, never held a set of shears in your hand, never worked with a client like that, you just have a passion and a vision for what you want to do as far as the barber industry goes, take your time. You don't ever want to rush. You want to be confident and competent in what you're going to be asked to perform and the skills you're going to be asked to perform once you get out of school, for sure.
Okay, so if someone was to do 20 hours a week part-time, so at the very minimum, how long would that possibly be? Is that about a year and a half?
Yeah, about a year and a half.
Yeah, okay. Yep. A lot of students have families, they have jobs. So that's one thing that I really do love, the flexibility of the schedule.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. All right, so describe the curriculum of the Master Barber program here at Fada.
So we kind of go through all the basics. So if anybody knows me, if you've been through this program or been a part of this program, you know that my lady is my best friend. So I go by the book because the book is, you'll be comfortable with straight hair, wavy hair, curly hair, Black, white, Latino, Asian, across the board. Everything. You're going to be comfortable with every texture, every ethnicity. You're not going to be afraid of anything. So for the first 100 hours, students don't get tools, so they'll come in and we'll kind of go through the barber one-on-one program is what I call it. So we'll take them through just like basic fading, head shapes, just kind of how to set up their haircuts, to structure the head, making sure we walk them through all the tools and the products that we're using, make sure they understand the difference between a hospital disinfectant from a tool disinfectant to an antiseptic and the different types of antiseptics that are available. Your basic combs, brushes, shears, your clippers, how to gap and adjust your clippers, just a good basic understanding of what they're going to be doing before they actually get tools in their hands and get started. Being a professional barber is a barber who can, on demand, whatever comes to the door, you're able to service it and service it well. So modern hair cutting, straight razor techniques, make sure you're comfortable with your straight razor, skin care, nail care, rules and laws. Make sure you cover the Tennessee rules and laws, so that
Right.
that way the students know when your license is due, what are the requirements to open up a shop, just all the requirements. So that way you operate better as a profession if you understand the rules and the laws of the game, essentially.
Right.
So from there, and then employment preparation. So a part of our business curriculum. So whenever we go through the business portion of the curriculum, we like to bring in shop owners, local shop owners from around the area and outside the area. So they'll come in and we talk business. And so, like I say, one of the most important things about barbering is that, like, all of us are going to learn how to cut hair,
Right.
to some extent, right? You're going to be able to cut hair to some sort of capacity throughout your years. But understanding the business of barbering from the very beginning is what's important to us, making sure our students understand what they're capable of and what they have access to as a barber, right? So you're going looking for a job, know what the pros and cons of being a booth renter are. Know the pros,
Right.
know the pros and cons of becoming an hourly employee. Know the pros and cons of working commission, and so that way you can select the right avenue for you. All right. So again, extending the main clinic floor. When you get back here, this is where myself and Miss Terry and the other instructors kind of set up and stay. Over here is going to be our skincare area. So whenever we do our hot towel shaves or any type of skincare services, we do those right here. And this area kind of doubles as our theory classroom as well. So our classroom is small. So we use that to train new students. And we'll kind of set up out here for our main theory class in the morning and in the afternoon.
Rare Quality Studios is a professional graphic design agency that specializes in full business branding, website development, and custom party favors. If you are looking for customized branding for your business or next event, look no further. Rare Quality Studios have everything you need to take your business and celebration to the next level. Rare Quality Studios offer quality business cards, premium logos, social media templates, professional websites, and much more. Visit rarequalitystudios.com today to start branding your business or next event.
Know those structures, right? Because this is a business, right? Eventually we want to come from behind the chair, whether it be running a shop or getting into another lane and doing something else. This is just a platform that gives us that freedom to do that.
Yeah,
for sure. So making sure the students understand the business of barbering, like I say, right now the business plan, understanding what's going to be required of you when it comes time to file taxes, all that type of stuff. Just making sure they got that. Getting financing from the bank. We'll even bring in a representative from the bank and come in and sit in on their business plan presentations. And so just making sure they got that under their belt before they get out of here, the business, understanding the business of it. But as far as that, that's pretty much in a nutshell. And then getting them prepared for state licensing.
We're right here in Smyrna, Tennessee with Marquise Martin here at Fayette University. I am telling you, that goes such a long way when you are in a school that's giving you these type of fundamentals, that you're ready for basically whatever it is you want to do, and you don't feel like you're trapped to one thing. When you don't know, going back to what Marquise said, you don't know what you're capable of.
A lot of times we don't know what we don't know. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
And as educators, it's our job as educators to make sure our students are in the know.
For sure. You said you bring local businesses to the school. These local businesses are barbershops.
It'll be a booth rental barbershop. It'll be a commission barbershop. It'll be an hourly barbershop.
Right.
So that way we cover all of them and let the students ask questions. So, when we're in class and we're discussing the business of barbering, right? So we're going through and we're talking about everything that the text lays out for us. And so when the businesses come in, the students are armed with information, right? And so they're going to ask these questions. So how much is your booth rent? What's your commission split? Are we required to wear a uniform? What's vacation time look like? Like all of these different questions that I never asked when I went into a barbershop. I was looking, do you got a chair?
Right.
And Juice told me, come on. So
my question was like, how many clients do y'all get? Like, y'all busy? Okay, cool. That's all I needed.
Right. So just being armed with that information, just to be able to, you go in like knowing like, okay, yeah, I feel good. I feel confident.
With the shop owners or barbers that come in, do they do recruiting?
Oh, yeah.
Because I seen that you had Uncle Classic, and I'm familiar with Uncle Classic. Shout out to y'all.
Shout out Miss Amy. Yep.
Yep,
and
for
Forrest,
sure.
Yep. I do a lot with those guys. Amy she's been like super instrumental. Along with her and Roxanne, I can name off a lot of guys. Mr. State Board, shout out Thomas James. But yeah, a lot of people have been instrumental in me getting this thing off the ground and it being actually successful. Because believe me, you know how it is when you open up a business for the first time. You're not really just sure. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, a lot of people have helped me out for no charge, gave me information, answered the phone when I needed someone to answer the phone. And, and if I didn't do my part once we got here and got the thing open, if I didn't do my part and actually do my best to give out the very best education that we can, I would be doing those people a disservice.
Share with us the teaching methods that you put into place here at FADE to ensure students are equipped for success when they graduate. So just as far as the book work, you kind of talked about this already as far as what you have them do.
Yeah.
But if you can just go more in detail, that would be great.
So along with the theory curriculum, the hands-on curriculum is like super important. So I'll teach a top to bottom blending technique. So FADE University, so they got to know how to fade when they get out of here. So
right.
So I teach a top to bottom blending technique that I show all my students when they first get here, just to give them a foundation. So this industry is a creative one. So I never want to put students in a box to make them feel like, yeah, you got to do it like I do it. No, you don't. I'm just going to show you, I'm going to give you a foundation. So that way, when you try something else, you get stuck, you got something to go back to.
Right.
Okay. So we teach fundamental and the technique that we teach.
It's faded top to bottom.
Faded top to bottom. Okay. Just a top to bottom fade. Making sure our students are comfortable with all the tools and implements, your shears, your razors, your blow dryers, everything that they need.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, nowadays you never can tell what you're going to encounter behind the chair. Everybody's going everywhere. So it's not like your dad's barbershop where you just seen one thing.
You explained the process of obtaining accreditation, and what does that look like?
Okay.
And how does that help students?
Gotcha. So we are not accredited. So we're a private school, so everything is pay out of pocket. So the difference between your accredited programs and your private programs is that your accredited programs are able to take financial aid. So students are able to go out, sign the paperwork, get a loan, and go to school with no money out of pocket up front, no money up front. But your private schools, everything is pay out of pocket. So doesn't necessarily mean one program is better than the other. Right. It just means that you don't have to fork over that upfront cost to go to school. Financial aid will cover it for you. We try to make sure we put students on a payment program, keep the payments low. And so that way, once they get through school, and I prefer a private program, and not to say that the accreditation, because the accreditation is great for the schools. It gives you access to resources. You don't have to wait on things. You know what I'm saying? Everything is coming. So you're able to give your students more. But the private programs are good just because students don't finish school with debt. Right. So you don't necessarily, if you can afford to go to school and finish school without debt, I think that's great. I was able to do it and not have to worry about paying back any loans or anything. So I could go right into my career and start recouping my investment, because basically that's what it is. It's an investment.
Right.
So you invest up front, and then as soon as you get in the shop, you start recouping the investment. Your accredited schools, a lot of times, are going to be like your bigger programs. But like I say, you're a product of your teachers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if your teachers know it, it could be accredited or private.
Explain a day as a barber student at FADE University. So students usually come in. Do they clock in? Is it a time clock they clock into, and then they go to their first class? Or how does it go?
We still old school paper and pencil. But I'm thinking about going to clock system because it's a lot of paperwork. But anyway, the day starts at 9. Students they get here between 9 and 9:15. The day starts at 9. They get a 15-minute grace period
before they're
counted late.
Okay.
And so 9:30 class starts. So Miss Terry is my AM instructor, great, phenomenal instructor. She starts class at 9:30. They'll have class from 9 to roughly 11. Okay, after class, usually we have clients coming in right about 11. Then they'll start cutting. They'll cut from, like I say, from the morning class will cut from 11 till about 2. Then they'll break down, clean up, get out of here. Then the second group is coming in about the same time. Okay. The second group normally gets here around 2. They'll cut from 2 to 4. We'll finish up around 4:35. Clean up. We'll start class about 5:30. Then class will run from 5 to 7. Afternoon theory class runs from 5 to 7. Then we're out here for the day.
Okay, so before we started recording, I was talking about how pristine the school is, and Marquise was telling me how it's all the students. So do they switch? Like, do they have chores, or everybody kind of just like know what we need to do, because it's so clean and so well kept?
So we don't give a job to anybody in particular. It's a system. They come into the system. Everybody pitches in and does a job. So if towels need to be folded, somebody see them, they grab them and fold them. So it's not like hey, you do this or you do that. It's a system. Everybody and our senior students, they kind of lay the groundwork for that. The new guys come in, they'll see the senior students, they'll come in, see them folding towels, so they'll just That's just
jump
what's done.
in. Yeah, they
That's just
already
what's
know.
done. You know what I'm saying? So it's a culture, really. So we've created that culture, and hopefully, when the students get out of school and they open up their own shops, keep that same culture, right? That culture of cleanliness and being a professional. Dealing with clients, good customer service, all of that stuff.
All of it, because it rolls over for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
And if anybody see it, the clients, they see it.
Yeah, and it goes back to kind of what I said. Students were learning inconsistency in school. If you experience consistency and you're trained consistently
Right.
in that manner, that stuff is just going to carry over.
The habits that you develop, they stick.
Yeah,
That's true.
So this is our break area. So students come in and have fridge and break room and vending machine and all that stuff for them to take. And this area also doubles. We'll clear everything out. And so this is where they actually take their state board.
What does it look like, the students that's prepping for state board?
Throughout the curriculum, you're going to have these chapters that are what I call state board chapters. So as far as like the haircutting, right? So you're going to have a lot of content coming out of the haircutting chapter that's going to be on the state board. Your chemical texture services, your hair color and your chemical texture, your perms and relaxers and all that stuff. Also your facial, your manicure, all those type things. So with those topics, with those chapters, once we cover those chapters, then we'll go over and kind of introduce the student to the state board version of that service. So, like real life salon barbershop service is going to be a little bit different from the state board service, where the state board service is all geared around safety and sanitation. So just make sure they understand that. When it comes to prepping them for the theory exam, so at the end of, so we got 5 units of instruction. So at the end of the 4th unit, you'll go into the 5th unit, which is all geared around state board prep. So you'll start finals, essentially.
Okay, is theory considered finals?
So theory,
or is that separate?
So theory is book work. You know what I'm saying? So the theory portion of the exam is the computer test that you take, the written exam. And then your practical exam is the hands-on exam.
Right.
So we get them prepared. We'll kind of get them broken into the practicals throughout the course, but they don't actually start prepping solely for the theory exam until the very end, until they finish the 4th unit.
Okay.
And so once they finish the 4th unit, then they'll go into what we call finals. And so basically for all those topics that I just named off, your sanitation, your haircutting, your chemical wave, your hair coloring, your facials, your manicure, all these things, your state board rules and laws. We'll give the guys exams on each of those topics, and all of these exams are 100 questions or more on all of these exams. And so basically the thought behind that is that we'll give you everything that we have on that one particular topic and do that for all the topics, and then give you 3 more exams with everything kind of combined, another 100 and some odd questions that covers all of that. So you have pretty much everything that you need. So we're going to cram it in you for the last couple of months that you're here. So that way, once you finish, the day that you finish, you can go take the state board that day and pass. No cram, no stressing, and all of that. Because I can just remember how stressful it was when it was time for me to take the exam. You know what I'm saying? But we don't want the students to have that stress, which, I think all of us have a little test taker anxiety, but, try to limit that as much as we can.
Now, just for aspiring barbers that don't know exactly like the theory and practical and how that is the theory and practical taken here at the school and then they go off to take the state board? How does that work? I know it's different at certain schools.
I'm excited about this. So over the years, it's kind of been a roller coaster ride, right? I'd say we have somewhere around 85% first time passer rating. For the exam. The state board exam changed a little bit a couple of years back. So, we've had to catch up as a program just to make sure our students we're not teaching them the old stuff, but we're making sure we're showing them the new stuff, the stuff that's going to get them through. So our students have the ability to take both theory and practical exams here at the school. And so we've just sent our first couple of students through the exam here at the school. And it's just been like the scores have went from barely passing to like exceeding what the expectation is.
Why do you think it's like that?
I don't know if it's from our end, students going to the actual center to test for the proctors or what. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think just being able to take the test in-house is just better for all parties involved. So so they're able to take it here at the school. So
that's awesome.
I'm super excited to be able to offer that. I think that takes some of the stress and anxiety out of it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You're in a familiar place, It's quiet. It's home for you. You know what I'm saying? So you got home court advantage.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Oh, wow. And
But,
then the state, they go off to take it.
So
and so they take state here
you
too?
take the state board exam here. So that's what I'm talking about. So yeah, the state board exam
okay,
here.
because I'm separating like practical theory and state. It's all three different, but they can take it all here at the school.
So we'll prep them for both theory and practical exams here. So that's just a part of the curriculum, right? So Miss Valerie, she'll get them ready to go. Miss Valerie, shout out Miss Valerie, she's our afternoon instructor, and she preps them for the practical examination, right? And so she'll get them prepped up for that. But then once they're ready and when you schedule the state exam, you take the exam right here on site.
Oh wow! Yeah. I could see how that cuts back on. That would, for me personally, that would cut back a lot of anxiety that I had around the test. I went 2 hours away. I actually went to Indianapolis to take my state exam. So it was something. And I know here, like you said, you always have to make sure you're staying up to date because the requirements change for the state board.
Oh yeah, every so often they'll change. Where they took just for an example. So back in the day when I took the exam, you used to take a live model.
Right.
Now everything's done on mannequin. You used to have to do like a blood exposure during the state board exam. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that anymore.
When was that?
Right. So if you're not up on your state rules and laws, man, Tennessee.gov, make sure you go there, make sure you contact the folks down at the state board to make sure you're up to speed on all this stuff because it changes often. Shout out Miss Roxana Gamusio as well too. She came in and spoke to our students a couple of weeks ago. So she's phenomenal too. She's the executive director of the board. So if you ever need anything for Tennessee, she's awesome. She's phenomenal.
Go ahead and say her name one more time for me.
Roxana Gamusio. Yeah, she is phenomenal. She's very hands-on, answers the phone, emails you back, whatever it is. She's super.
Your Life, Your Purpose, Your Way by Avery Campbell is a self-help book designed as a blueprint to help you discover your purpose and live a fulfilled life. Author Avery Campbell empowers readers to walk into their purpose and power. Releasing April 24th. Pre-order your copy today. Link in description. Do you all go to like community events that helps promote to bring clients in?
Yep. So we do. So we have 2 annual community events that we do. So we always do the week preceding school starting. We always do free haircuts for all school age kids, K through 12, every year.
Okay.
And then we also do free Christmas haircuts. So the week before Christmas, we do free haircuts that whole complete week too for all school age kids.
With the K through 12, is that back to school? When is that usually?
That's in August. So usually August. So once the school schedule comes out for the next year, then we'll know the date, and it'll be that week before school. So if you guys are looking for haircuts going back to school, things might be a little tight, or you just might want to come out and check us out. Come check us out. We'll be doing free haircuts for back to school.
That's awesome. And do you all do it here?
We do
at
it
the
here.
college?
We do it here. Natural Street Barbers. In the past, we've done a lot with those guys. A great organization. We'll go over to Smyrna Care Center once a week, every Friday, and cut the residents at the rehab center. We do that every week. And a number of other, if I forgot you, Brother Joseph and his organization, we do a lot with them. And I think we got something coming up with them on the 20th of this month out in Nashville. We were just out with those guys at Preston Taylor. Or JC Napier, Housing Development. We did a community outreach event with those guys too. So as much as we can get out and put students out in the community and giving them heads to work on and just developing those soft skills, working with different people. Yeah, we try to do as much as we can.
What is the process of obtaining an instructor license?
3 years into the field, so you've been practicing barbering for 3 years.
Right.
You're eligible to go into school and get your 300 hours and go and take the test for the instructor program. So we do offer the instructor program here. 300 hours. We work with the students that are looking to get their instructor's license. We're flexible with their schedule, so it's not a hard set schedule. So as long as we can get you in here within a reasonable time, you know what I'm saying, as far as like hours per week, we can work with you. You know what I'm saying? So as long as you can give us a little bit, we can work with you, but we'll work around your schedule because we feel that our professionals that are looking to obtain the instructor license, you're probably working in a shop or salon, and that can be very demanding. So, we just try to work around their schedule when it comes to that. So yes, we do offer that as well.
All right. So we have Marquise Martin here. I'm so grateful. If you have any words of encouragement or advice for our audience, if you can go ahead and share that.
Consistency is key. If you're consistently good and you do things consistently well, things are going to be pretty consistent. consistently good for you. If you're consistently inconsistent, just be ready for the inconsistency. Stay consistent, stay encouraged, stay prayed up, keep God first. You know, that's the main thing.
Go ahead and drop your website, the Fade University website, and the social media handle
Okay,
as
so
well.
it's going to be www.fadeduniversity.com. It'll be Faded University at Instagram, Faded University on Facebook. So yeah, anytime you want to message us or anything on one of those, if I don't get back with you, grab the phone number, call the school.
Awesome, awesome. So there you have it, guys. I just want to thank you so much for tuning into High Level Barber Talk, where we have the high level conversations with the trailblazers of the industry. Be in tune next time. And until then, remember to envision, aim, and become. I'll see you all soon. Peace.
High level, baby.